There is one truth that many dog owners have never really thought deeply about. You may love your dog like a member of the family. You take care of them, worry about them, comfort them, and miss them when you are away. But the real question is, in your dog's eyes, who are you? Just the person who feeds them? The one who takes them for walks? The one who plays with them? Or are you something much greater than that? You may not realize it, but the way dogs see you is often far more complex than simply seeing an owner. Very often, in their emotional world, you are their safest source of comfort, the place they turn to when they feel uneasy, the person who lets them sleep soundly, the one whose presence can make their whole body explode with joy. And what is worth mentioning is, the strongest signs are not found in loud, obvious actions. They are hidden in very small moments, so small that most of us see them every day without ever fully understanding what they mean. In this video, I'm going to share 5 very clear signs that your dog may see you as their parent, not just their caretaker. And as you get to the end, the final sign may make you look at your relationship with your dog in a completely different way. Let me say this first. Not every dog shows affection in the same way. Some are very clingy and very expressive. Others are calmer and less outwardly emotional. So when you hear these signs, do not think rigidly like, it only counts if all 5 are there. What matters is how your dog chooses you in the moments that matter most. And the first sign usually appears when they are at their most vulnerable. Sign 1, when they are terrified, they look for your eyes first.
I'm right here.
Think back to the times when your dog got startled. It could be a loud noise outside the door. It could be a sudden bang. It could be a stranger approaching too quickly. Or simply something unusual on a walk that makes them freeze. At that moment, most of us only notice the outside reaction.
What is it, boy? Hey.
Do they bark? Do they shake? Do they shrink back? Do they pull on the leash to get away? But what says the most is what happens right before those reactions. Where do they look first? If, in that moment of uncertainty, your dog turns to look for your eyes, that is a very deep signal. Because when a living creature feels unsure, its instinct immediately searches for safety. And if that safe place is you, then you are no longer simply the person who feeds them. Many people miss this detail because it happens so fast. Just one quick glance. But that glance carries enormous emotional meaning.
You're safe now.
It is like a child hearing a strange noise and turning to look at their parents to check.
Buddy.
Is this dangerous? Should I be scared? Is everything still okay? Dogs do the same. They read your face, your voice, your emotional state.
We're safe.
If you stay calm, they are more likely to calm down.
Safe.
If you are tense, they are more likely to become more alert. That shows that in your dog's mind, you are not just a person who happens to be around them. You are the point of reference they use to judge the world.
Go check it out.
Personally, I think this is one of the most touching signs. Because when everything is normal, a dog may like many people. They may play with other people, wag their tail at other people, accept treats from other people. But when they are truly afraid, the instinct that pulls them back is toward the person they trust the most. That is when affection is no longer something casual. That is when the bond becomes the clearest. So next time your dog gets startled by a strange sound or a new situation, do not focus only on the barking or the outward reaction. Look at their very first glance. If that glance is searching for you, then very likely, in their heart, you hold a much bigger role than you think. But that is only when they need protection. There is another sign that is even more interesting, and it appears when they willingly share the thing they love most with you. Sign 2, they bring their most treasured item to you. There is a scene that is very familiar to dog owners. You are sitting and working, resting, or looking at your phone. And suddenly, your dog carries an item over and places it right at your feet. Sometimes it is an old ball. Sometimes it is a stuffed toy that is already torn. Sometimes it is a toy they have chewed until all the corners are worn down. And then they look at you, silently. Many people's first reaction is, oh, they want to play fetch. And yes, sometimes that is true. But not always. There are times when a dog brings something over and does not jump around asking you to throw it. No barking. No nudging. No making a fuss. They simply place it down, and sit there looking at you. That moment is worth thinking about. Because in a dog's world, a favorite object is not just a toy. It can be something connected to a familiar scent, a sense of safety, joy, or possession. In other words, it is something that carries emotional value for them. When a dog willingly brings something precious to you, that often means more than just asking to play. It can also be a form of sharing.
Oh my.
This thing matters to me, and I want to bring it to you. This little treasure of mine, I trust you enough to let you be near it. I'm letting you into my world. It may sound a little romanticized, but anyone who has lived with dogs for a long time will understand this feeling. You will notice that there are some items they hardly let anyone touch, but they are completely comfortable bringing them to you.
Thank you, I love that.
That is trust. I really like looking at this sign from a very ordinary, human angle.
Good boy.
When children care about someone, they often share the thing they love most.
You're the bestest dog in the
It could be a piece of cake, a toy, or the last piece of candy. They may not be able to express affection with words, so they use actions. Dogs are the same. They cannot say, I trust you, Mom, or I love you, Dad.
Could ask for.
But they can place their most precious thing at your feet. So next time your dog brings over their favorite toy, try not to react too quickly.
Now I see.
Do not rush to pick it up and throw it right away. Pause for a few seconds. Look at them. Talk to them. Touch the toy gently, then stroke their head. Sometimes what they need is not a game. What they need is the recognition that, yes, I understand.
Thank you so
This is
much,
not just a
sweet
toy.
boy.
This is your way of connecting with
Yes, I
me.
know you love it.
And speaking of connection, the next sign is something almost every dog owner has experienced. But most people just assume it means, my dog is hyper.
Come here, you're
In reality, it may be a much stronger emotional reaction than that. Sign 3, they become overly excited when you come back.
Oh, yes, I
You leave the house for 20 minutes. Or an hour. Or half a day. And when you open the door and step inside, your dog comes rushing out as if you have been gone for months.
I'm so glad to.
Jumping up. Wagging wildly. Whining. Running in circles.
Did you miss me?
Some even grab a toy and run back and forth because they are so happy.
Home. Did you miss?
We usually find that adorable.
I missed you too.
And it truly is adorable. But if we only call it being happy that the owner is home, that is a little too simple. Because for many dogs, the moment you return does not just mean joy.
Hey there, good boy.
It also means relief. Pay attention and you will see. Some dogs become completely different when you are about to leave. Some follow you to the door. Some sit still, but their eyes stay locked on you. Some look obviously sad. And when you come back, all that pent-up energy bursts
Oh,
out.
I missed you so.
Because for them, the most important
Hello
person
there,
has
sweetie.
returned.
Did you?
I think this is something many people do not fully appreciate. People often say,
Hey
oh,
there, buddy.
they greet everyone like that.
Such a good dog.
But not
Hey
exactly.
there, good boy.
Dogs may be friendly with many people,
Hey there,
but that level of emotional explosion is usually
Hi,
reserved for
how are
only a
you?
few very special
Hello.
people, most
I
often the
missed
one they
you
are most
so
deeply
much.
bonded with in
Yes,
daily
I
life.
missed you.
What makes this sign resemble the kind of love a child has for a parent is this. Your return seems to let their nervous system finally relax. Everything falls back into
Hey
place.
there, sweet girl.
The person they need is home again. I have seen many people say, half jokingly,
I know, I was gone for 8.
no one in the world welcomes me as warmly as my dog at home.
Oh,
It sounds
hey there,
funny,
buddy.
but it is actually pretty true. Because dogs do not pretend. They do not
Oh,
know
hey
how to be
there.
polite
Who's a
in the
good
way
boy?
adults do. When they are happy, they are truly happy.
Boy, I missed you.
When they miss you, they truly miss you. When they feel relief, their whole body shows it. And that is why their over-the-top reaction when you come home is not just putting on a show. It is often their way of confirming. Finally, the most important person in my world is back.
Hey there, boy.
From my personal point of view, this is one of the things that makes having a dog so special. Maybe in real life, you come home tired from work and no one asks how your day was. But at the door, there is a living creature that treats your return like the happiest event of the day.
You're happy to see?
That feeling is very warm. Of course, to be fair, one more thing should be said. Just because a dog greets you enthusiastically does not automatically mean they see you as a parent.
So much.
Some dogs are extremely outgoing by nature and get excited with everyone. But if that emotional explosion is always strongest with you, lasts longer with you, and comes together with the other signs in this video, then there is a very good chance that you are the central figure in their emotional world. And if you think only big, dramatic expressions like that count as signs of love, not yet. There is another kind of behavior that is even more convincing, because it happens in extremely ordinary moments. Quietly. Without asking for anything. Without showing off. Sign 4, they walk over to you just to be near you. You are sitting and working. You are cooking. You are watching TV. You are lying down and resting. And then your dog walks in from another room. They are not carrying a toy. They are not asking for food.
Good dog.
They are not asking to go outside. They are not doing anything special at all. They simply walk in, look at you, choose a spot nearby, and lie down. It sounds small. But this is a very meaningful behavior. Because many times, a dog does not come close to you because of a physical need.
Come here, my sweet.
They do not need a reward. They just want your presence in the same space. This is very similar to the feeling young children have in a family. Sometimes they do not need their parents to do anything at all. They just want to know their parents are there. Just hearing familiar sounds in the house and seeing a loved one within sight is enough to make them feel secure. Dogs can feel secure in that same way. That is why some dogs may be sleeping soundly in another room, but after a while they slowly get up, walk over to where you are sitting, and curl up nearby. At first glance, it may not look like a big deal. But in reality, they just made a choice. Instead of staying in the most convenient spot, they chose the spot where you are. I think this is a very real sign because it is not loud. It does not demand attention. It is not the kind of thing that goes viral like a dog leaping around when their owner gets home. But these quiet actions are often what reveal the depth of attachment most clearly. A dog does not need to be near everyone. They choose carefully. They stay close to the person who makes them feel the most comfortable, the safest, the most familiar. And if there are many places to lie down in the house, but they often keep choosing the area near you, even when you are not interacting with them at all, that is not random. That means, I feel at peace here. Personally, I really love this sign because it feels more like a mature kind of affection than a burst of temporary excitement. It is not explosive, but it is steady. It says, I do not need anything from you, Mom or Dad. I just want to be here. That is a very deep kind of bond that many people overlook simply because it seems too ordinary. And now we come to the final sign. To me, this is the quietest but strongest sign of all. Because it appears when a dog is not performing, not asking for anything, not trying to get something from you, and hardly even consciously controlling their body anymore. It happens when they sleep. Sign 5, when they sleep, their body faces toward you. Pay attention in the evening, or during their naps in the day. Where does your dog sleep? And more importantly, which direction do they face? Which way is their body oriented? When asleep, a dog is in their most vulnerable state. Their ability to observe is reduced. Their reactions are slower. Their guard is lowered far more than when they are awake. In other words, if they want to sleep well, they must trust that the environment around them is safe enough. That is why the way a dog chooses a sleeping position is never meaningless. Some like to sleep near the door. Some like to lean against the wall. Some like to curl up in a hidden corner. Those choices are often connected to protection or habit. But if your dog repeatedly chooses to lie facing toward you, or sleeps in a posture that keeps you within their zone of presence, then that is a very special signal. Because at that moment, they do not need you to throw a toy. They do not need you to pet them. They do not need treats. They are not putting on a show to get anything in return. They are simply letting their body face the person who makes them feel the safest. In my personal view, this is the most moving sign of all. Because when a dog is awake, we may still ask ourselves, are they doing that because they were trained to? Are they doing that just out of habit? Do they want food or attention? But when a dog has relaxed enough to fall into a deep sleep, what remains is often their truest feeling. Where do they go to feel safe? Which direction do they turn toward to feel secure? Who are they most relaxed beside? If the answer, again and again, is you, then honestly, you hold an incredibly important role in their world. Not just the person who owns them, but the person to whom they entrust both their alertness and their softness. And that is the deepest form of trust. I think there is something very beautiful in that. During the day, a dog may run around, play, make trouble, and ask for all kinds of things. But when sleep comes, everything becomes honest. There is no performance anymore. No asking anymore. Only instinct choosing the most peaceful place to let go. And if that peaceful place is always near you, facing you, or at least in the same space as you, then perhaps you already have the answer to the question from the beginning of the video. So if your dog often does these things, when afraid, they look at you first. They bring their treasured item to you. They burst with emotion when you come back.
There! I missed you.
They come closer to you on their own even when they need nothing. And when they sleep, their body still faces toward you. Then very likely, in their world, you are not just a master or an owner. You are their most important loved one. Their emotional safe haven. The center of their sense of security.
Always there.
The person they are attached to in a way that is very close to how a child clings to a parent. Personally, I think the most beautiful thing about having a dog is not how obedient they are or how smart they are. The most beautiful thing is being trusted completely by another living being, in a way that is instinctive, genuine, and unconditional. That kind of love makes me feel that having a dog is not just about caring for an animal. It is about stepping into the emotional life of a family member, a living being that knows how to remember, how to wait, and how to seek safety in you. So tonight, or right after this video, try watching your dog a little more carefully. Look at the way they search for you. Look at the way they stay near you. Look at the way they sleep beside you. Maybe they have been telling you this for a very long time. It is just that today, you are finally hearing it clearly.